everyone, today we are doing a midsummer container refresh. So I had done my containers here late spring and had them all ready for beautiful displays in the summer, and then we went away for a few weeks and the deer munched on a lot of my plants. The irrigation was on the fritz, so that didn't work properly. A lot of things dried out. So I came back to some very unattractive looking containers on my patio. So this happens sometimes where midsummer we do need a little refresh. Maybe some of those things have happened to you, or it's just been so hot that it's been difficult to keep up with the watering of containers because they do take a lot of water. They do dry out pretty quickly. So whatever the case, it's a great time of year to do a refresh because there's a lot of plants at the nursery that are on sale right now. And we still have plenty of time to enjoy them. So I'm here in Connecticut. I'm in planting hardiness zone 6B, and I enjoy my containers right through to October, even mid-October. So I want to do a refresh. So I did remove a couple of things already. And what we're going to do first is I'll tell you what I have left in the container here, and I'm going to show you how to take care of what you have, what's left, give that a spruce up. And then I'm going to show you my little shopping trip to the nursery and how I found some great deals and some additions to spruce this up. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to plant those in the container today, and I'll show you a quick before and after. Okay, so what we have in the container here now, what's left? Like I said, I had a couple things that were totally crispy and I already pulled out. But you all may know how much I love my Angelonia here. And so this one is a purple and it is called Archangel. So beautiful pinky purple color. And I love that this plant because it is pretty drought tolerant once it gets going, and also it gives the container a little bit of vertical interest, some height. Next we have a verbena. It's a super bena called Peachy Keen. And this one here actually fared pretty well. And then on the back side here, we have our draper. We have some variegated vinca vine. And then in the very back here, I have a little geranium that did not fare well at all. So I'm going to be removing that one and replacing it with some other beauties. So I do like to save my tags because I put them aside, and then next year I can look back and if I loved my containers, I can duplicate them or at least use some of the plants that I really loved. So let's set those aside, and then let's talk about my shopping trip. So the deals right now are pretty great. So things are going on sale because the greenhouses and nurseries are already getting ready for their mums. They're going to be bringing in their mums. So I still want some summer annuals. I'm going to get some good deals, and these are the things that I look for. So number one, you want to check out the health. Now, when it gets to be summer at the greenhouse, there tends to be a lot of overwatering and underwatering. So you'll find a lot of yellow leaves or missing leaves. So you want to look for some green leaves and some nice lush foliage. So that is number one thing that I look for. And number two thing is that I'm looking for when I do the refresh is I'm looking at my color scheme. So I already have pink, purple, and then I brought in a little bit of peach. So I'm just going to be thinking about that when I'm shopping. And then third, I'm going to be looking for some things that are going to do well in the conditions that I have. So this is a full sun container. So I'm going to be looking for plants that are going to take the full sun and a little bit of heat, maybe be okay with drying out a little bit. So I found some good stuff, and let me show you what we have here for additions. So number one, now this is a drought tolerant little annual. So this one here is a portulaca. Now you're going to see some things mislabeled. So this tag has pink flowers on it. So obviously it's yellow. So it's kind of nice to see things flowering because then you can really see what you're getting, because sometimes early in the season when you're buying stuff, it doesn't have its flowers yet. So you're not really totally sure what you're getting. It might be mislabeled. So the yellow is going to be a nice, hardy little sun perennial and beautiful foliage texture in the mix with the yellow flowers. And then next, this one here is going to bounce back, but it was really dried out. So I think I can help this one make a comeback. Now this is euphorbia and it is pure white. And I love this one because it gets to be quite bushy, so it'll really fill the container out and it's pretty hardy. All right, and then I wanted to get some bang for my buck because we are thinking about the budget here. We've already filled this container once, so we really want to be mindful of what we're spending. So I have a nice full hanging plant, and these here are Easy Wave petunias. So this here I got on sale, and it was a great price, and it's also going to really fill the container out. So we'll get a little bit of drape from this as well. So this is a nice pink petunia. I'm really excited about this one. So this is a little powerhouse, and you can see that it needs a little deadheading. I don't mind doing that, but it's going to give us some really nice displays, and it's going to keep cranking out the flowers, so we do love that. All right, so let's plant these, and then I'm going to show you how to care for it and get this container going, and then get these plants in here to really bounce back. Okay, the first thing that I want to do, I'm going to show you my little geranium. Does not look so hot. So I'm going to take my Hori Hori knife. I love this tool because it's a trowel, and then it also has a serrated edge. So when I have a container that's already been planted, I can kind of slice this out without disturbing the roots, because that is the trick. We're going to be working around the other plants that we're leaving. All right, now I do like to do a little bit of soil saving. So I'm just going to remove some of the soil here. And so that'll really get the roots going. If it's been in the pot for a while, it might be a little bit root bound, but also it'll help me kind of squeeze it in here. And then I have to remove a little bit of soil. So we're just going to scoop it out. We're going to mix it with what we took off of the plant. Found our little geranium tag. That was Darko Standard Blue. And that poor geranium didn't have a chance with how dry that it got this year. Okay. So I have a draper on this side already, so I think I'm going to squeeze this one over here for a little bit of balance. And then we're going to take the euphorbia, save the tag. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to remove a little bit of the soil. I can see how dry it is. I'm going to squeeze it right in here. Now I like to make all sides of this container look nice, because you can view this out here on our back patio from all sides. So it isn't a one-sided container. We want to make sure the whole thing all the way around looks pretty. All right, so that's going to fill that spot there. And then my hanger, I'm going to put in here. So let's remove a little bit of soil because it's a pretty good size. Remember, try not to disturb the roots of what's in there. All right, and then you just want to take the hanger off. And then slide it out of the pot. And you can see that it has quite the root system. So this is actually a really good sign, but we want to give it an edge here. So I call this tickling the roots. So this here will give it a chance to put on some root growth. Let them breathe a little bit. Okay. So what we'll need to do is we'll need to just break this container apart a little bit. So this is where the hori knife comes in handy too. So we can just go ahead, we can slice into it. So when the greenhouses make their hangers, what they're doing is they're putting several plugs in the hanger, starter plugs, to really fill this out. So I'm just trying to separate it a little bit. And you can get a little more bang for your buck. And also it'll just be easier for me just to squeeze in here. So I'm working around each plug. Okay. And that way I can really just spread this out on this side here. You can see how nice and full that's going to be. All right, now I have my leftover soil. So here, I'm going to get my scoop, and I want to make sure that I fill it in all around my new plants and I don't leave any air pockets. Okay, so you can see I like a really nice full container. And I'm going to do a little bit of care here. I have some floral snips. You can get your pruners out too. And the first thing I want to do is just deadhead what was left in the container. So my Angelonia. So you can see here how it's gotten a little bit leggy. So I'm just going to chop it down. And that's going to encourage some new bushy growth. So really you want to see flowers all up and down the stem here. So this here is what I mean by leggy. So it should have flowers going all the way down the stem. So we're just deadheading or cutting them back a little bit. In the container. And then take off any crispies on my verbena. So by taking off some of these crispies and the undesirable growth, you're allowing the plant to put its energy into some nice new growth and some new flowers. Okay. And then the last thing to deadhead here is going to be my petunia. This is going to be a little time consuming, but I'm really just pulling off any of the spent blooms on it. So I may do a little more of this after I'm done videoing this because I like to take my time with this. I actually enjoy doing tasks like that. Okay, and last but not least, so remember I said the watering was an issue. We want to give it not only a really deep watering, but we want to fertilize it. And so we can do that with some water-soluble fertilizer. And then we want to make sure that we keep watering this from here on in. So for my fertilizer, I have two options for you. So one is your Miracle Grow. So you can go ahead and add that. Second option is my Organic Neptune Harvest seaweed fertilizer. So I love this stuff. Pretty smelly. Your dog will love you for adding this to your gardens. But basically for this can here, I'm just going to do about 2 capfuls and fertilize it. So I'm going to fertilize and keep an eye on it. I'm going to water it daily, and I'm going to have a nice container refresh. So that's it. It's that simple. You can save a little money and enjoy your container for at least 2 to 3 more months. So that's it for today. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed our video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel because we love gardening.